Alrighty. It's time to play another game. This time, we're going to play Machinika Museum. It's a game we got for free from
November 2020. People here seem to love it.
Steam.
And when they stop to say hi, he asks
So,
if
if
they
it's
know
free, I'll play. Well, not necessarily. It's more like if it's free, I'll check it out. And if I see that it's interesting, I'll play. And since I like puzzle games anyway, not that I'm any good at it, but and it's free, so I say, hey, why not? So let's go to the game screen and fire up the game. Here we go.
Comunidades más de 5 o 6 días sin luz en las zonas lunas, no había ningún evento atmosférico, no había ninguna situación de clima que prolifera esa situación.
Hay gente que no habla, obviamente, pasaron por el huracán María.
Wish list now.
Pero hay gente que ahora hablan del huracán.
Oh, okay.
¿De qué se trata eso?
Bueno, lo que pasa es que al existir comunicación,
Music high, sound effects high.
se convierte, ¿verdad?, en una tragedia. No sabemos si nos levantamos
Full screen, 1920.
Esto de verdad que
Let's see, chapters, 9 chapters. How wide does it go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 5, 6, 7, 8.
aspiraciones de planificar desarrollo económico.
Should we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9?
Lo que veo es el proceso atropellado en que se
That's
da
kind of
esto.
stupid. Oh well.
When Lima was chosen to
Let's
take
start.
over the transmission and distribution of the public power utility system, the deal was supposed to solve a problem. The utility is $9 billion in debt.
Another long night at the museum.
The whole island is
Ahead
in
of me.
debt. And more than
Studying
$7
alien
billion
objects from
after a decade of economic depression,
the far
and
reaches of the
experienced
galaxy.
disasters.
Click
So
on the
many
comment
made
to
others
close it.
natural.
Alright.
So to claw itself out of this financial hole, Puerto Rico started allowing private companies to take over public functions.
A box
That's where Lima
in a
came
room with a skylight. Another box has been shipped today. As usual,
Whether because
they haven't given me
discomfort,
any
lack of
info.
mobility, your lifestyle, or
They tell me
occupation, you sit in
researchers
way too many
are
hours a
supposed
day.
to
We
research.
all do. That sedentary inactivity is terrible for your
Research.
health, and standing
So
for
do I
hours
get
is just as
research
bad.
material?
It's time to add some extra steps to your day. Introducing
can
Ellipse by
select
Legsercise,
to look around.
a premium quality automatic
Okay.
seated exerciser that strengthens
So
legs,
it's
increases
the
your
box.
mobility, and boosts
There's a
circulation.
pair of scissors, I
without
guess that's to
physical
open the
strain or
box.
impact. It's the easiest exercise you will ever do.
Look at other places.
So easy on my
Well, I can only look at the box. Huh?
stronger. My joints are no longer stiff. I
Oh, there's something
walk
on
without
top of the box.
Ellipse fits
Anything below the
perfectly
box?
under my desk,
No?
and it is so quiet that none of my
Nothing below the
coworkers
box?
even know I'm using it.
Strengthen and tone
I guess that's a
your
picture of
legs.
what's inside.
Increase your mobility, flexibility, and
A
balance.
3D
Plus,
printer scanner.
Stimulate healthy circulation.
It feels like a workout, like I'm
That
challenging myself.
LFS?
But it's still super easy on my joints with no impact whatsoever. Now I can walk longer than
dim.
before. I feel
Is that
strong.
dim?
It's able to
One?
strengthen different muscles and move
33
in
by
multiple directions, which is
33 by
exactly what we
38.
want for someone trying
Weight,
to regain
one.
full pre-injury function.
I have
24
less
kilograms.
thickness,
It's fragile,
I have more
huh?
flexibility. I have better balance, and it increased my mobility.
What's that?
Power-assisted leg exercise
I
that
can't
frees
read that.
your mind to enjoy your favorite seated activity.
This side up,
Perfect for
fragile.
supporting your therapy at home. And it's whisper quiet, so
Alright.
use it while you work. Just plug it in, place your feet,
let's
select
see
your
here.
speed, and relax. Ellipse does all the work
I
for you.
can't.
My
There you go.
joints feel better, my knees feel better, my back feels better. It makes me feel stronger too. And
Well, you have fun what?
you can relax and exercise at the same time because
because it's
Dear
so
colleague,
Loosen stiff joints and
on the
tight
4th
muscles,
floor.
reduce swelling, alleviate cramps, and calm restless legs.
After my
Museum
first use,
National
I could see that my
des
legs were not as swollen. And I could
Contours.
feel my usually cold legs getting warmer. I could
File
feel my
reference.
circulation was improving.
My circulation is moving, I'm
Transmission
burning calories,
ID.
and it makes me feel
General
energetic.
document
Other-seated
authorized
exercises
museum
produce
staff
harsh,
only.
jarring movement that's hard on
Contact
your joints.
Eric
While Ellipsis 46%
Veneer,
larger rotational
inventory
diameter provides more
manager.
movement and exercise. Plus, ultra
Telephone numbers,
smooth
National
motion that's
Museum.
safe, super low impact, and feels great. Call right now.
Following your request for 2 months ago, from 2 months ago, we have pulled from the inventory this old 3D printer scanner. It is an old model, but it works. Theoretically and theoretically. And although the manual is missing, we are sure you will manage this fine. When you no longer have a use for it, please be considerate enough to return it into its original box along with all its accessories. Regards, Technical Service Department. As usual, the LAC code is set to the serial number. Read the serial number. At a
Even
file
at New
reference
Mexico,
transmission.
Puerto Rico's power outages have continued.
Oh, here it is, serial number. All
We
right.
looked at LUMA's online tracking system several times a day for the month of September and saw widespread outages throughout the month.
Serial number 1078.
There were still outages reported in at least 51 of the island's 78 municipalities. But there were likely
Alright.
even more than that,
We
because
just
almost
click.
everyone we spoke with on the
How do I get rid of it?
told
Click.
us the map isn't
Again
showing
on the
all
icon to
blackouts
exit.
that are
Okay.
happening.
I'll keep this letter in my inventory.
The spotty power has kept LUMA's crews
Click
busy.
again on the icon to exit.
So I was just talking to some
Alright.
of these Luma workers.
Right click to
They came
zoom
here
out.
this morning, they got their assignments, all the different power outages that they're gonna go to
Alright.
address across
I must
the
find
island.
something sharp to
And
cut the
many
tape
of these
on
guys
top,
told
on
me
that box.
They worked with PREPA, they
Find
were
something
with
to open the
the
box.
company before, they
Oh.
came over here, they say there's a lot
I
of
think these
work to be
instructions
done
are getting a little
in order to fix the grid and maintenance that was not being done for
Okay.
years and years. So that's what they're doing
That should
now,
do it.
And we're gonna go out with them today.
You
and
found
watch them
scissors.
Hopefully restore power at people's houses.
Scissors are in my inventory. Go to the top of the box. Right click and right click. Alright. Drop the scissors on top of the box and cut it open. Okay.
There are up to 235 crews like these that are active around the island.
How do I drop the
every day.
scissors?
They're responding to outages and
Not
working to
right-click.
reverse a decades-long backlog of maintenance needs. And they get to do this work with
Huh?
billions in federal funds that were devoted to repairing
Huh?
the power
Yeah.
system.
What if I
after
do it at
Hurricane
the blind? Ah,
In Puerto Rico, we heard from a large
I gotta put it on a certain spot.
enough to just work
Good.
on
Let's
the
have a closer look at this big
They
box.
believe there's a fundamental flaw in the way Puerto Rico's energy system is set up.
Uh,
A flaw that is especially problematic during
that's cool.
hurricanes.
Come on.
Professor Augustine decided to
There you go.
is one of these people. He's an electrical engineer at the University of Puerto Rico.
All right.
He's also part of a coalition
A 3D
that is
printer, huh?
advocating for an entirely
Chapter
solar
1.
system,
Click to
based on
continue.
distributed solar systems.
Left click, I assume.
Most people want a lot of electricity.
All right. Let's find how to start this printer.
So this side of the island,
They don't want it in their
Okay,
backyard. They
I
don't want it.
guess.
so this side of the island,
I'm gonna press this green button here. Anything up here?
well, this is the Costa Sur.
Oh, there's
which is
a red button there.
That it can burn both
I guess that's a
oil
power
and,
button. Does it look? Does it need
natural
to?
gas.
Does it need a cord?
In Puerto Rico, almost 98% of
Does it
power
need a
comes from
core?
fossil fuels. Those fuels are imported and burned in plants like this one on the
Apparently,
southern coast of the
oh,
island.
wow. Okay. I guess I gotta do the.
Then the power is carried through transmission lines to the places where people live.
All right.
For the most part, that's the north of the
I
island.
guess I need the code.
This is a traditional power system where
To,
you have the power
what is
plant, in this case located on the coast,
1078.
because that's where we receive the fossil fuel. We don't have any fossil
10.
fuel. Okay. And then it's burned
70.
here, and it produces electricity, and electricity they travels through the transmission system to go to the load
All right.
Is this a strong?
Good thing the code was in the letter. I probably won't need it anymore. I'm going to put it aside.
It isn't.
Put it aside.
Transmission
Put it
system.
aside.
They-
Put it aside.
Out of every 4
Oh.
hours.
I guess this is to
It's
yeah,
not
go
if
back
we're
to
going to get the new Hurricane Maria. It's when it's going to be facing
all right.
Hurricane Maria.
That closed it. Okay, that opened it.
What drives you? Going fast is what
There's something in there.
Free State, St. Petersburg, Florida, the Virginia
I guess that's something that they made. Yeah.
I just want to win. I just want to get in his eyes that we just vote across the board.
It's been nearly 50 years since a woman raised that.
Even cord, go in here.
Women racing under the helmet. on
Well, making it look
April
look at
5th
this.
At 8/7 Central.
Ah. There you go.
I'm Jonathan Lawson.
What's this?
If you're 50 to 85, an important message about
Something is
security.
missing here.
Write down the number on your screen so you can call when I finish. The love
Something
phone
is
I'm talking
missing here.
about isn't the one on your door.
I don't see anything
For
missing.
your life insurance. Read. They guarantee
Unless something
that
goes
once you're
here
insured,
and
the
here.
rate can never go up at any time for any reason.
Something is
Be
missing
careful.
here.
Many policies you see do not have one. But you can
Well, let's
get a
look at this.
lifetime rate lock from Colonial Penn.
Ah, maybe that's what's missing.
This
You
plan
have
will
found
provide
a battery.
for
Ah.
Fixed income with life insurance that fits their
All right.
budget and is simple to get.
I guess I gotta put the battery in, huh?
$9.95 a month, less than 35 cents a day.
Let's
Now,
put the battery in there.
you'll be locked in for life. It will never increase.
There you go. Battery is in.
Lifelong coverage that can never be canceled as long as you pay your premiums.
All right. It's low. Battery is low.
Your
It needs to be
acceptance is
recharged.
guaranteed. With mental health questions, you cannot be turned down because of your health.
Apparently not.
For your information kit and read about this rate lock for yourself. You'll also get a free beneficiary planner, both for free with no
Yeah, what was that?
obligation. Don't miss out. Call for information, then decide. Read about the 30-day 100%
What the
money back
hell is
guarantee. Don't wait. Call
That's
this number now.
screws.
Call now and you'll also
Ah, I
get
can do
this
this,
free
huh?
beneficiary
Ah.
planner.
Looks
Use
interesting.
this valuable guide to record important information and your final wishes.
All right.
And it's yours free just for calling. So don't wait. Call 1-800-440-9900 for your free information. That's 1-800-440-9900. There's no risk or obligation. That number again is
This container is very heavy.
1-800-440-9900. That's
have found
1-800-440-9900.
ink cartridge.
So call now.
All right. I don't think I'll
If
need
you're paying
ink
over
tanks.
$60 a month for streaming TV when you already have locals for free, you're paying
What's
too much.
this?
Luckily, Blink
This
TV
container
is
seems
for $40 a
empty.
month.
I should replace it.
An unbeatable price for the best of
All right.
sports, news, and binge-worthy shows. You've already got
Okay,
the
so I guess I
antenna.
took it out.
Now add ESPN,
That's the ink cartridge. I guess that's full.
And more for this
And this one is
$40
empty.
a month. Blink, the live
I don't
TV
think
you
I'll
love.
need 2 ink
Visit
tanks.
sling.com/antenna and watch now.
All right.
Hurricane Maria left
Look at
many Puerto
this.
Ricans without power for almost an entire year.
Is apparently it's telling me
That
I gotta
experience led
refill something.
entrepreneurs like Elon Musk and others to take interest in renewable energy on the island.
I gotta refill something.
It also led a coalition of people and environmental organizations to call for a total overhaul of Puerto Rico's
This
electric
is
system. Rather than having big power
superfluous?
plants connected to people with long transmission lines, and
Superfluous.
having to rely so much on
I think that's the
imported
word.
fossil fuels, this group wants to see a system where Puerto
All right.
Ricans get their power from rooftop solar panels. Their proposal is called Queremos Sol, we want sun. In Guayana, we saw a small pilot program that is testing this idea. Sonia M. Diaz is one of the first
That's
people
strange.
to receive a solar system on her roof here. ¿Por qué te la pusieron?
Bueno, yo tengo un hermanito
All right.
que padece de esquizofrenia. Si lo cuido, y mi hermano,
Okay.
cuando se va la luz aquí no hay más nada. Él sufre de calor. Se pone, tú sabes,
What's
como
this thing?
histérico.
These are pictures of people in the neighborhood that have
Yeah.
gotten solar panels installed in their homes.
You have found something.
85 different
Museum
homes that
emblem.
have the solar panels. This is a lower income
right.
neighborhood, so it's been a great help for people
I
to,
guess
you know,
these
be able
are
to
the
have basic energy
diagrams
for
and
their basic
schematics.
needs.
They don't
This
look
is a
quite
system
right.
that Irisari Rivera and the Queremos Sol Coalition
Anything in that
believe will lead to more resilience
In
after
the book?
storms in Puerto Rico.
I
And not
found it
only
in the
that,
book.
he feels it will give them more control over their power on an island with a streak of
That's the
independence
emblem.
and its own unique culture.
A chinchorro
Do I have to put
is
the
a
emblem on or something?
joint, a place where you have a beer and something to eat, and we go from one chinchorro to the next, and we call that chinchorreando.
You make it a verb. Puerto Ricans are really, really
That's,
good at eating and drinking and having a good time.
Is that Parliament?
You will
On the
see
Thames?
what happened after Hurricane Maria, and you see an opportunity
To change.
To change.
electrify our country using our own
There's a light over there.
resources, using new technology.
There's a
It's a path
diagram.
to democracy. It's a path to energy justice, where everyone has the capability to produce
Oh, yeah, there you go.
enough
Okay.
energy to survive after a furious hurricane.
What?
That did not
You don't
happen.
see
We lost 5,000
anything
people
useful
after
here.
Hurricane Maria. That should never happen again.
That's for you to
I
say.
don't see Luma trying to create a
Nothing
modern
useful there,
power
huh?
I mean,
How
we
about
have
this?
talked with
Yeah,
Luma
is this-
representatives, we have had the opportunity to discuss what they present in the Energy Bureau. It's very
All right.
backward looking. That they believe that if they do exactly the same thing that
How
is
about
done in the US,
If
they're
I,
going to have this immense leap forward. That's not
Put
correct.
this in
They
here?
want to have perhaps an excellent power system from the 20th century. We want an excellent power system from the 21st century.
I
think
should be
that's a
looking for
fundamental
something
difference
to duplicate.
between what Luma vision is and
Something
our
to
vision
duplicate.
is.
How long
I guess I
are
gotta
you
duplicate
willing
the
to
emblem,
give
huh?
this company? I mean, they got this contract. How long are you willing
All
to
right.
give this company
Something to
to see if
duplicate.
maybe
Here's
they
something to
do
duplicate.
actually improve the grid?
I think Luma will leave if a strong storm hits Puerto Rico.
That's something
Once
to
they
duplicate?
realize that one thing is talking and the other thing is restoring a system that has been battered by a hurricane, they will probably pack their things and leave. That will be
A lot of people share Irisari Rivera's concern. They're worried Luma might just leave, based on a clause in
All
the
right.
contract that allows the
Close it.
company to terminate the deal in a natural disaster lasting a year and a half. And other people in his coalition, as well as consumer watchdogs, are very critical of the way Luma got this lucrative contract. They say the deal lacked transparency. The
Yeah.
public stakeholders were left out of the 18-month-long selection process,
Uh,
and that it contained irregularities around the bid evaluation and lobbying by the company.
I guess I gotta put this in here.
Authority told us that they have a very structured process and follow
Right.
all of the regulations and procedures of their agency.
Yeah, that looks like it. All right. Ah, now it's full. Now what?
Before I would ever give a product to a patient, I tried it myself. So I started taking Super Beats and I said, wow, Super Beats is a game changer.
it's giving me the energy that I want, the blood pressure support that I need.
Circulation,
All right.
heart health, we feel like we can get things done.
I really am feeling a difference.
I just love it.
Over 1 million people have put Super
All
Beats
right.
blood pressure support supplements
So,
in the test.
the green
And
button?
today, we have over 80,000 five-star reviews. We're trusted by over 120,000.
For the purple button, actually.
For heart health support.
It helps dilate
Alright,
blood vessels.
so-
It helps increase my circulation. It's having a beneficial effect on my heart and my energy. It makes me healthier.
Now that I have scanned this object, I can print it.
And I said, Super Beats.
Yeah, I found
Get a
something.
3-month supply,
Remember.
plus free shipping and a 90-day money-back
I found something, I
guarantee
can
on all
print it.
products. Exclusively when you call or visit superbeats.com.
Attention parents of children
Okay,
diagnosed with
scan.
cerebral palsy, Erb's palsy, or another birth injury. If you suspect that a medical mistake may have occurred at or near the time of birth, your child may have important legal rights. Call
Scan.
Science and Kirk for a free case evaluation. Cerebral palsy is a permanent disability
Print.
that may be the result of brain damage.
Why is it like
pregnancy,
purple and red?
after birth. Failure to follow the
You just want to make it confusing?
the cost your child's injury. A lifetime of medical care can cost millions of dollars. Protect your family and find out
Alright.
Financial compensation.
So far, this doesn't seem very difficult.
For children diagnosed with
Maybe they'll get more difficult as we go far.
or brachial
You have found museum envelope. So I got 2 museum envelopes. Nice. A perfectly duplicated object. I'll keep this printer with me. It could be useful. Okay, I can understand why it's so easy so far. Then. Alright.
Things about the prototype process are especially salient here in Puerto Rico.
Now that this printer is working, let's see what interesting alien items I have been given to
After
study.
Hurricane Maria, a 2-person Montana company named Whitefish was given a $300 million contract to repair the grid. And 6 weeks later,
Share on
the
Facebook
majority
and
of the
Twitter. Oh wow!
still without
Oh, I did a good thing! I did a good thing! I will share it on Facebook and Twitter.
secured $1.8 billion
So stupid.
dollars to repair the grid.
Anyway,
Then U.S.
That was it?
prosecutors charged the president of the company.
somehow I feel like this is not going to be a very challenging game.
Thank you.
These bad experiences have led some lawmakers to hold public hearings requesting
All right.
more information from Luma about their operations.
We think
The
that
alien item shipment I'm going to study tonight. I was not given any information regarding their origins. They just told me it was urgent, and that's not unusual. That's not usual. I'm curious to see what's inside.
Information, so.
Él dice que como ellos son una compañía privada, no tienen que hacer información falso. Ellos no son una compañía privada. Desde que ellos hicieron cargo del sistema aquí y se
Cargo del sistema. Piece reference, given name, ASRAB, date found, 8 something,
So I asked Luma's CEO,
38,
Stensby,
size, 57 by 37 by 8,
and the terms of the deal.
weight, 18.4 kilograms. Notes, priority 1, origin unknown.
Are clearly not germane to
excavation,
talking about the transformation or talking about
I guess it's
comparison.
38-1108,
To,
November 10th.
attempt to slow us down or attempt to
FREL,
cause
F-R-E-L,
distraction.
oh, preliminary.
Something like that.
Preliminary discovery report.
We've
This,
provided more than 10,000
I guess
pages
that's
of
device,
information back.
oh,
I know that in the contract, some
D-O-V-I-C-A,
people worry that
D-A-V,
Luma isn't investing any of its own
I see.
money, capital, and
This,
also
whatever that word is,
Luma can leave at any time. So
redacted origin was part of a redacted
that
near Saturn on
instinctively worry that the deal may not be
asteroid
fair,
designated
and that
Atlas.
they could be left holding
Origin
the
and
bag.
purpose of the device are unclear at this point. A few items fall, a few items tall,
Go recruit.
Toll,
Here we are today.
T-O-L-L,
Done
F-O-L-L,
with an intent to,
from
as you said, to just leave.
a few items, I guess it's fell. A few items fell from it when it was first extracted.
For a reason. When it
We
comes
packed
to,
them along
private
following
jets, they
usual
ship
safety
their other
procedures.
projects that have failed. So how are you going
For
to
unknown
allay
reasons,
their-
And
an emergency protocol was requested from above for this item, along several others,
And I think that's fair.
to be sent directly to the National Museum for further analysis.
Luma.
On a more informal note, Dr. Redacted complained about the unusual protocol surrounding this whole operation. Also,
Well, if and there's another hurricane,
redacted,
it's
very
because
unusual
we-
and
because we
danger,
in the past,
danger.
in the path of hurricanes. So
Field
what
team
you
number
want to do
411 led
is
by
show
Dr.
that it's
Brenner.
reliable. If you're sort of building
Do
it-
not activate this machine in a low gravity environment, I guess.
It's actually not as
Page 1 of 2.
as some people would like to make.
I found a letter.
You can design structures to withstand.
Why does this sticker stick there?
Reinforcements. Yes, there's an engineering component to it.
Page 1 of 2. It's a letter from my colleague working on the field.
Great engineering has to electricity.
So where's page 2?
But it's done in other corners of the world. It's not impossible.
How do I get page 2?
And we simply need to do it here.
How do I get to page 2? Ah, Okay.
So, is it true? Is this all
So I'm gonna get this thingamajiggy. I guess I gotta make a copy of it to put in there. I need two of them.
But when?
And I guess there's a warning here.
Continued. And so have the protests.
Kim Soo Young, responsible equip.
I am Puerto Rican, so I grew up, I have family that still lives there, and so this is
I guess I gotta make a copy
story that in a lot of ways
of
is near
this.
and
Where do I
dear
get
to
something
my
like
heart.
this to make a copy of?
Your life without regular power. I mean, it's hard to imagine on a daily basis having to deal with power outages. You know, it can vary.
Maybe I can take it out. There you go. I have a feeling that this piece will be helpful.
There's a really
I could duplicate it with my printer.
like it was after Hurricane Maria.
Oh shit, Sherlock.
You could say they haven't
A metallic pin.
from Hurricane Maria, and in a lot of ways, there's still tarps on rooftops in Puerto Rico. The other thing that I found incredibly striking
Where's the warning at?
was that a lot of the
Fragile.
money that was promised to rebuild the bridge
Ah.
hasn't actually arrived yet.
A hidden
There
note.
have been holdups.
What does the note
I
say?
was there on the island after Hurricane Maria in 2017.
3:59.
I saw the devastation. I saw power lines that were mangled and poles that were down, and it looked like
That's all the note says.
gone off. Going back to the islands so many years later, now it's been 4 years after Hurricane Maria, a lot of smart people are trying to figure this out at the moment, and are really debating what is the right road, what's the best way forward for the islands, so that they don't have to live with these problems day in and day out.
This is a shipping label. You can't zoom in on these things. That's the only zoom they give you. Anyway, it's a shipping label. So,
From banning books to restricting the curriculum, America's
let's
a flashpoint this political campaign.
What are you going to do to help?
let's go duplicate that
But in the middle of it
thing.
all, teachers.
How do I get out of here?
Many still struggling after their schools closed in the pandemic.
We will get there. Our teachers, our administrators have worked so hard since COVID.
Where do the leading presidential candidates
Well, good,
stand? And what about the voters? We're about to find out.
They're getting involved in political process, they will pay
I'm gonna make a copy of it. I'm gonna scan it first. I wonder if it scans 3D.
Teachers and parents go to the polls to vote.
I can use the printer to duplicate certain objects. Okay.
This is a
Oh, how do you
special
use the
edition
printer?
of Scripps News Reports.
You gonna bring it out?
To the White House.
How do you use the printer?
Welcome everybody. I'm Forrest Saunders, standing in front of the Florida State Capitol right here
It's,
in Tallahassee. And this is where I spent most
Is that
of
on
my
the
days
table? Let me
reporting
put the printer on
for
the
the
table.
last 5
No?
years. I've been here as Florida's governor, sword.
Won't work if I
and
put it on
then
top of there. How about if I
trying to
put it
become
on
the
the desk
Republican
here?
presidential nominee.
Yeah.
Governor Ron DeSantis has made schools a battleground for policy, from the pandemic debate over whether to keep doors open or close them. And with those doors reopened, restrictions
Right.
on bathrooms for transgender students,
Yeah,
the banning
that's
of
it.
an
I'm
advanced
going
high
to
school
study
course
tonight.
on African American history, limiting
Right.
what can be said about race, diversity, sexual orientation, and of course, the banning of certain books.
All right.
In the last year, school board meetings like this made national headlines.
All right, I gotta make a copy. So,
Things on the internet anyway.
Adults trying
How
to
do I
read
get
books in school libraries and
use
classrooms,
the scanner
often
printer?
pushing long lists like this.
89 that were objected to. Volusia County only had 2 removals. That was the worst in the state. It is
Okay, how about if I put this over here?
Conservative political
There you go.
members objected
That's
to
how you
schools
do
they
it.
found
So I got 2 of them now.
pornographic, while others pushed back.
All right. I guess it doesn't matter which one goes where.
Nowadays, it seems more pertinent to say that you shouldn't judge a book by an excerpt.
Florida has become the epicenter of the book ban battle in the U.S. Last school year alone, the state says More than 1,200 objections resulted in nearly 400 book removals.
And what was that number?
It has Florida leading the nation, according to the
359.
nonprofit in America.
Three.
Over 40% of all book bans last year occurred in the Sunshine State's K-12 classrooms, according to their data. Republicans like Florida's governor and the GOP-controlled legislature enabled those challenges. They crafted laws restricting public school instruction on gender and sexuality in grades K through 3. Later
Chapter
expanding
2.
through high school with some
Let's
exceptions
continue.
for health class. Another law making it easier for parents or
Okay.
anyone to challenge a book in the first place. Supporters saying
Can
too
I
much
turn it over?
inappropriate material is reaching young minds.
Why would we have that in a media center with the 10-year-old students? It's just wrong.
Am I telling
And a
up
lot of parents now have been empowered to make sure that these are appropriate environments.
Governor Ron DeSantis has repeatedly cited questionable content found in grades as early as elementary. As justification, his communications team pushed this video.
Another where boy watches porn and asks.
Many of the books were focused on LGBTQ plus
Yeah, I guess I can't close it, huh?
but the governor labeled them an attempt to indoctrinate over educate.
And they feel like
Well, might
they're
as well leave
sending
it
their
open.
kids to a place that is waging war against their own basic values.
Those who feel the ban's gone too far say that graphic stuff is a very small portion of what's now getting questioned. Their focus is shifted to condemning what they see as overzealous censorship. In Escambia County, for example, which has had perhaps the highest number of challenges in the country, more than 200 books are currently getting
It's
reviewed.
spinning
They
loose.
include
I'm
modern
missing
classics
something.
like Watchmen, American Gods, and The Handmaid's Tale.
They're fed up and tired of the cultural wars.
State lawmaker Ann Escamani has been one of the most vocal critics of the book challenges, worried schools and education are getting weakened by what she sees as the injection of a conservative ideology. The Democrat thinks voters are sick of it.
Very hopeful that this year we'll see the demise of mobs to liberty. We'll see election results that speak to what we've seen in other states already. So we can go back to public education being an apolitical and foundational purpose for all of us.
It looks like this part could move somehow.
Election.
Yeah?
Hundreds of books now getting challenged in states across the country as policies and concerns
How
similar
about with
to
this
Florida
magnetic
conservatives proliferate. The American Library Association sounded the alarm with this recent
Plugs
report
into
saying
something.
2023 brought the most book title challenges in its nearly 150-year history, a record 65% increase over 2022. The ALA also documented its top 10 challenged books of last year.
Like you hear a
most
sound,
containing
but this
LGBTQ
part
plus
won't move.
content. Topping the list, Gender Queer, a Memoir. Its author penned an op-ed in the Washington Post
This
writing,
part is
quote,
blocked
"Schools are
halfway
banning
in."
my book, but queer kids need queer stories." Back in Florida, groups like the Florida Freedom to Read Project have sprung up to track the bans, regularly updating lists of books under threat.
I have a grandson who's, biracial, and it's wonderful. And, so a big kind of a place to bring him would be awesome.
That's as bookstores start to push
A
back.
purple brace.
Some featuring even specializing in titles.
So I got a
taken
green
off
brace and a
school
purple
shelves.
brace.
Rohi's Readery in West Palm Beach is among them.
It's really sad that
How about-
they're being called banned books because we know the intention of these authors and illustrators is to create liberation.
Critics of these book bans even scored what they consider a recent win. Governor DeSantis signed a bill last month scaling back the scope of Florida's book bans, limiting challenges that non-parents can submit to just one a month. DeSantis, however, blames it on activists.
Because it's big. They create a narrative that somehow, oh my gosh,
Well,
these
put it on
books
this one.
are quote banned. No book is banned in Florida.
Missing
The
something.
most grotesque pornographic books that are in schools
It's
that
missing
have been
something.
removed because they're not appropriate, you can go buy it at a bookstore.
You combine
The comments
things?
sparked the
You
latest
combine
chapter in the
things?
book
No.
ban battle that continues to rage in Florida and across the nation.
Clay County Schools has removed a total of 231 books.
But how this will all end remains unwritten. Now, a couple of moments ago, I mentioned the growing list of battles here in Florida with our kids and classrooms in the crosshairs. But before we go any deeper into the policy, we want to bring you the voices of real voters. I got to stress, these are people, not pundits. So, let's introduce everybody, and then we'll get to the questions. Anita Hatcher, parent, teacher, fighting for a lawsuit challenging one of Florida's very controversial pet laws.
Okay.
We've got Whitney Merlot, Leon County ESE teacher. Maria Culkins, mother, Moms for Liberty, Santa Rosa County Chair, and Greg Mathers, parents and attorney. I'm curious if you think education is going to play a big role.
Maybe I need to duplicate it.
Is education going to matter?
As long as teachers and parents go to polls to vote,
Got two of those.
education will always be a serious election topic.
We are training
One in here.
our future
And one in
leaders,
here.
our future doctors, lawyers, teachers. And everybody wants their child to have access to an appropriate education, but also a fair and
Purple.
education.
Well, I think that education
A blue
will play a
brace.
crucial role in this upcoming election because with so many parents rising
what's
up
this?
right now, seeing the crisis in public education, and they're more getting involved, they're getting
I
involved
guess that's a
in the
yellow
political
brace.
process, they're more paying attention, who's on the ballot, and who's going to be standing up
Okay.
for parental rights.
I definitely think it's going to
So,
be
there's a button here?
on the forefront of a lot of folks' minds, especially with the Biden administration's proposed change.
This is getting interesting now.
Timeline? That's a big topic.
I have 7 kids, including my stepchildren, 5 girls in that group, involved in sports. I can't imagine them having to compete against boys, which is what this will do.
It's unconstitutional, first of all. Second of all, it's the opposite of protection. It opens up a door for potential sexual predators to have access to girls' bathrooms.
You have a response.
Absolutely. I'm very empathetic to what I'm hearing because from my experience, I know that that comes from a place of fear. And if you've ever worked with transgender children, they're the ones who desperately seek that safe space. None of them are going into a restroom or a changing room to flaunt anything. They live in fear. They want to be acknowledged as their authentic selves. Title IX is simply protection for everyone's authentic self.
One of the reasons that Florida got so much attention over the last couple of years is because of the book
Let's,
challenges that we saw
let's
in counties
return to
across
that
the
later.
state. Now, the governor will tell you
Let's see
the
if this
reason that
does
these book
anything.
challenges needed to happen, why the legislature needed to draft the law, is
So
because
they
we
go
were finding
where
that
they
people
naturally are supposed to go.
in the classroom in elementary schools. But there is also a concern that these book challenges have gotten out of control, and we are seeing hundreds of books that are now being challenged, some of them modern classics. I don't know who wants to start on that.
Well, I'll agree with Maria that it very much is about parental involvement. At probably 9 or 10 years old, he picked out the book, The Fault in Our
Well,
Stars.
I don't see.
And we were packing for vacation. It was on audiobook, and his father read a segment of it and did not like it, and did not think our child was ready for that. But that is an example of involved parents. We could then have that discussion in our home, but it was not our right to tell our library to take that book off the shelves.
These books are not just art. I challenged 3 books on my own.
I do hear a sound, but that.
The books that I
But
challenged
this
had
part won't move.
explicit conversations about sexual activity, stuff that curls
This
your
part is
hair.
blocked
To read
halfway
it, you're
in.
like, this is in a 5th grade library. This is in a 3rd grader's library. What is going on?
This is a national issue. This is something that people have been talking about now for the last few years, and that is the forgiveness of student loans. I saw a big eye roll there from you, Greg. Why don't we start with you? What is your concern?
Personal responsibility. That's the real world. You take out a loan, you pay it back. That's called being an adult.
I knew that it was my financial
So I gotta push
responsibility
these in.
that if I was going to have one, I needed to pay it back. But on the other side, you want quality educators, and you want them to have a quality education to then pour into the other students. But you don't want to pay them their value to cover those loans.
I think personal responsibilities, that's what makes us such a successful nation. And when the government offers to use taxpayers' money to pay somebody else's loan, that's where we have crisis in our economy, and I think it's completely unfair.
I'm curious if you made up your mind for 2024 Has education played a role in that decision? And if you want to,
shouldn't I be able to close these doors or something?
This Title IX thing, education is definitely an issue. It's often Donald Trump.
I think right now with Biden administration, issuing executive orders with no legislative support is completely unconstitutional. And I hope and I pray that Donald Trump is going to win and we're going to get our
Okay,
back.
so I guess this is 2.
Done my extent of laying out the
And this would
candidates
be 1.
every piece. Yes.
This would be 2.
But do you think education is going to play?
Absolutely.
This would
And
be
what are you going
1.
to be looking for?
Who is going to value
There you go. Okay.
students and their free and appropriate public education?
We'll be on that ballot in November.
All right.
But I will say this. If I had to choose today, I'd pick
This
Randy
key
Spade
can't
to
be
be
pressed all the way in. It looks like something
I want to expand on
is
one.
in the way.
because he's married to an English teacher. And I was very happy with the appointment of Miguel Cardona as National Secretary of Education.
Thank you. You've all been wonderful. You were civil, you were passionate, you were informed. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, guys. I hope you got something out of this, too. All right, coming up next, your vote. What a Biden or Trump victory will mean for our children and struggling. We're going to go inside one school district trying to get kids back on track.
Okay, you gotta separate them.
At Consumer Cellular, we pride ourselves on giving you the exact same nationwide coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. But don't worry,
This one
we've got a
will
lot
go
more
in.
going for us. Woo. Like this beautiful store in Arizona, for example. It's the perfect place for me to tell you a little bit more about our phones and how they can become your phones. You name it, we probably got it. We have the top
I
smartphones.
gotta turn them
from all
green.
major
Oh, I
companies.
gotta turn them to the color that they are.
Cameras you want,
Okay.
Space age rental housing, we got it.
Okay.
Sort of smartphones
There you
with
go.
some bells and whistles but won't break the bank. We got that too. We even have flip phones like the Iris Flip. For someone that doesn't need all that mumbo jumbo and just wants something simple. You know, we even have watches.
We do.
Yellow?
You'll be happy to know that if your data needs change,
No problem.
with our Flex feature, you don't have to sweat it. Let's say you're on a road trip out west and end up using a bunch of data. We can simply flex you up to the next data tier for as little as $5. Then, when you get home, you can flex right back down with no penalty. So you only pay for what you actually need.
Something's
Consumer
in the
Cellular,
way.
you get the exact same nationwide coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost.
I know what you're thinking. What if I don't have one of these amazing
Maybe it's
stores
in
in my
order
town?
in order in which I
Get
do
these
it.
phones sent to me?
Yes, you can.
These I
Or
can't push
why
them.
wouldn't customer service help me switch over? Or I'd like $15 to make my own family plan.
Of course they will.
Is it easy?
Easy as pie.
See that tower up there? It's a beauty. And there are thousands more like it, working hard for
About
you, supplying 5G
this thing
coverage
here.
in this beautiful nation of ours. We know how important coverage
You
is.
go in there.
That's why we offer a risk-free guarantee.
This should go in, but something is in the way. I'll take my old mini camera to take a closer look.
Time new customers get their second help free. Call 1-800-485-8390. Find us at
My
Target
old
or
mini
visit
camera.
consumercellular.com to switch today.
She knows what she's
All right.
talking about. Pick up the phone.
Use the buttons to move the endoscope. Ah,
Her daughter just bought her first house.
All butters.
so how do I?
To go see it.
She knew exactly how she wanted everything.
But then you pointed out the gutters.
Do you think you phrased them right? Then
She didn't know.
Use the machine's keys to remove the foreign objects away.
bring out of your gutters for good. Very good. It's such a wild ride.
It's a lot easier
There
with
you go.
no filter.
Satisfied homeowners. Call 833.
A kid, how in the world did this get in there? I'll have a word with the off-road team who
Curated
pocketed
collection
this.
of investment pieces to treasure today or sell tomorrow.
Click the endoscope icon
Instantly
again to
refresh
close
your
it.
collection. Get 10% off your first purchase at Rebag.com with code
is something that's become a lot more politicized in recent years. Your child's education. 4 years ago, the presidential candidates debated extensively COVID mandates and rules. In 2024, there's less COVID discussion, but still plenty of disagreement. Let's start with the debate over public and private school funding. President Biden opposes vouchers for students who can't afford to attend private schools. Former President Trump supports it. In a social media post in 2020, President Biden outlined his position. When we divert public funds to private schools, we undermine the entire public education system. We've got to prioritize investing in our public schools so every kid in America gets a fair shot. That's why I oppose vouchers. Former President Trump made efforts to expand voucher programs and school choice while in office. In 2017, he brought students who received vouchers to the White House, saying this is, quote, what winning for young children and kids from all over the country looks like. President Biden and former President Trump have a fundamental disagreement over the role of the federal government when it comes to education, as well as the Department of Education itself. While both recognize that many decisions are made at the local level, former President Trump has called for the elimination of the Department of Education and for mass firings for many officials who work here. The candidates differ on what should and should not be taught in the classroom.
Across.
A president time when there's a national effort to ban books. We will cut federal funding for any school or program pushing critical race theory.
With another area of disagreement being student loan forgiveness. President Biden supports widespread student loan forgiveness and tried to enact it. Former President Trump opposes and praised the Supreme Court decision that blocked President Biden's plan. A big difference, too, is teachers' unions. President Biden has been endorsed by unions over the years and has spoken about how they can help advocate for teachers. Former President Trump has never been endorsed by major teachers' unions and has said that, quote, a union wall has harmed education. Joe St. George, Scripps News, Washington.
We're back here at the Florida State Capitol, the epicenter of the national fight over education policy. Let's step back from the politics for a moment and focus on what we should be caring about the most, the kids. Students across America are struggling, as Heather Lee reports.
Is actually working on.
I'm gonna put them all in a circle or something.
Raquel Fuentes Zapata is working one-on-one with her daughter Alina, who is about to turn 9.
It allows her to be able to understand her body in space, spatial
awareness. She's a mom and full-time speech therapist. She opened bilingual speech therapy during the pandemic.
Go ahead and pull out all the little beads that you find in there.
Alina has come a long way.
She essentially lost a year of learning.
She's in 3rd grade now, but was in kindergarten when COVID started. Her learning loss began when things went virtual. She was struggling to engage. Then came masks and social distancing. She was finding it hard to keep up.
With reading, definitely for sure, because in kindergarten they learn, phonological awareness, then decoding and segmenting and blending and rhyming. She just was not getting it.
They met with teachers and developed a game plan. She was quick to act. Her parents weren't. Raquel says in her line of work, parents tell her they didn't know where to go or how to get help. Now they're in the middle of catching up.
From kindergarten to 3rd grade, you're learning to read. And once you get 3rd grade, you're reading to learn. And if you don't have those skills at that time, then 3rd grade is usually the year that they start considering retention at that point.
According to researchers at Harvard and Stanford universities, learning loss was far-reaching. In the spring of 2022, the average student in grades 3 through 8 had lost the equivalent of a half a grade level in math and a third of a grade level in reading. The nation's report card shows 2022 reading test scores were 5 points lower than they were in 2020, 7 points lower in math.
I'm a kindergarten teacher and also a mom of 4 kids.
That's Lindsay Jacobowski. In August of 2020, she did a hybrid of virtual and in-person teaching for 6 weeks. She says kids struggled to understand sounds and phonics behind her mask. Her 1st grade daughter, Kylie,
Get them all together, that's what it is?
They're signing her up for summer school this year.
She struggles with saying words sometimes, and so currently she's being evaluated, for a speech delay or a language impairment, and she does have an IEP for academic reasons.
There is hope things may be turning around. The National Center for Education Statistics found just a third of public schools reporting COVID-19 and its lingering effects would have a larger negative impact on student performance this year. That's because of hard added work to help kids. One of Florida's largest school districts is working 6 days a week.
You know, often think what kid wants to go to school on Saturday, you would be so surprised.
Based on their needs, select 3rd through 5th grade students are coming in after school and on Saturdays this year for extra learning and support, with testing throughout to mark growth or what still needs improving.
We can't wait for all of the students to finish testing and us to really
Yeah,
see
1,
big
2,
learning
3,
needs taking
4,
place with them.
5,
The district is
6,
also focusing on
7, 8,
test prep,
9,
recovery
10.
plans, community support, parent outreach, and home visits to help kids get across the finish line.
We will get there. Our teachers, our administrators have worked so hard since COVID. I know our teachers are doing everything that they can to ensure that students are getting the best quality education they can every single day. We will get there. We will.
Money for programs like these is uncertain as COVID-era funding runs out. The next president's funding priorities may shape the future. Heather Lee, Scripps News, Tampa.
A sobering look at the state of education in America right now. We're back in just moments with some final thoughts.
You're watching Scripps News.
Since 1878, Scripps has been a shining light in the middle of the storm.
Stories of survival and hope.
So when events unfold, we can clearly from the middle.
So I put them all in sequence, I put them all in order.
You think you've got what it takes to make it as a gumshoe? Put your skills to the test with June's Journey, the detective game where spotting hidden clues helps catch devious criminals. So are you going to tell me about last night's incident?
We can do this the easy way.
Have you seen the dog?
Huh? What the hell did I do?
Don't want to know. There's a detective in all of us. June's Journey. Download now for free.
Introducing Paisano, the authentic pizza oven by
I broke it.
Now make the world's most delicious pizza with Rockwood Stone right in your own home. You simply set it and let it make golden, crispy, extra cheesy stone-baked pies
An anti-gravity
in
machine
under 6 minutes.
of this size, as far as I know,
Barbecue.
no civilization has
fresh
technology
and
of that
easy to do
kind.
with
Now,
Paisano.
that's
The
I don't even know what I did.
Controlled heat zones. They quickly heat the real ceramic stone up to 800 degrees while melting the cheese and crisping the crust, so you can stone bake just like the.
I don't even know what I did.
For 6 minutes. Look, take any pizza dough, sauce, add your favorite toppings.
I put
and you're
the little
making
things
gourmet
together, that's
pizza
about it.
Paisano lets you create
The green
large,
things.
specialty family-sized pies, meat lovers, prosciutto,
Huh?
breakfast, stuffed crust, even chocolate dessert pies. Plus, you can watch them rise right before your eyes. And unlike soggy oven pies, Paisano pizza comes out extra crispy. Even
Paisano pizza!
Frozen pies in a fraction of the time. Plus, there's no gas, wood, or charcoal needed. Paisano is electric, plug-in, and portable.
Paisano pizza!
Over 500
I don't even know what I did.
professional pizza oven, but you can get the complete Paisano pizza oven system plus professional deals. The stone station
I don't even know what I did.
guide for the special
I was moving them around.
of just $179.99.
And,
really fire up this deal. We'll give you an
And then they snapped into place?
You get it all at incredible
I don't get it.
for just $119.99. Plus, we'll ship your entire order free. So call or go on right now to get yours.
To order, call 1-800-431-4703. That's 1-800-431-4703 or go to buypaisano.com. So call 1-800-431-4703 or go online to buypaisano.com now.
.com now.
We are down to our closing moments together, and I want to focus on a few facts about the state of K through 12 education in America right now. The 12th graders we're graduating into the world, they pale in comparison to the top 21 industrialized countries. The U.S. kids, they're 19th in math, 16th in science. During the pandemic, the typical student lost months of learning in language arts, even more in math. That gap is still there. Students at all levels are suffering from more anxiety and
I
depression
have
than
no
at any
idea
time
what
in
I
recent
did.
history. Over the past several years, as a country, we've debated book bans, bathroom bills.
Just ribbon switches.
Amid all of that, the question, are we paying enough
And I got it
attention to
right.
what matters most? I'll leave that final thought with you, and I want to say thank you very much.
Now, it would have been interesting if I would have broke it, though.
Reports at
You
the
know?
state capitol. I'm Boris.
But apparently I didn't break it. I figured it out. I figured out that it was an anti-gravity machine. I figured out that it was an anti-gravity machine.
Helping families with mesothelioma is all we do. Our firm has been offering a free book on mesothelioma for over 10 years.
Mesothelioma.
Thousands with mesothelioma have trusted us to represent those responsible. We have local offices throughout the U.S. Mesothelioma really is all we do, and there is no to you. Let us put a plan in place for you and your family.
It doesn't seem to be too challenging, especially since, you know, you can solve these puzzles without really knowing what the hell you did.
Just buy a car on Carvana. I got pre-qualified in 2 minutes.
So,
I can customize my terms.
all right,
My car's getting delivered in a couple days.
chapter complete, huh?
Finance and buy your car with Carvana today. If you've been injured in an accident that's not your fault and you don't have an attorney, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to tell you what your case is potentially worth. Hello, I'm Gina, along with spokesperson Rob. Rob, tell the folks.
Oh, we're get a little more down, eh?
Right now.
And let's confuse
Just
it.
like you said, Gina, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, you don't have an attorney, give us a call right now, and we're going to let you know what your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Rob. So what kind of calls have
Looks
we
like
been seeing
buttons.
today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls from all types of
Buttons.
accidents today. Work accidents,
They're
slip and
buttons.
falls, truck accidents, and most
They're
commonly,
buttons.
car accidents. So if you were injured in an accident that was not your fault, you don't have an attorney, take that first step, pick up that phone and give us a call. We're going to answer your questions, and we'll let you know how much money you can get for
I'll
your
take
accident.
the keys out of the key
All
ring.
right, folks at home,
It'll
you
be
heard
more
it. Go ahead,
convenient.
don't hesitate.
Why?
Take that first step and call now.
We found keys.
After
3
calling
keys.
in our place for $19, we fired our old housekeeper. We'll go through
Alright.
everything from our kitchen to our
And,
bathroom, all our laundry. You just pick a date, pick a cleaner, and enjoy a spotless house for $19.
oh, come on, man. I can't read upside down. Oh, okay.
That there could be hope on the horizon for a ceasefire in Gaza and the release of war hostages. We'll see who's
Preliminary discovery. This object's inner working is unknown as of yet, but its purpose is very clear. This is a redacted, coming from a redacted civilization.
gun charges. We have details on the case against the president's son. Good Sunday afternoon. Welcome to Scripps News Weekend. I'm Erin Rogers.
It was plugged on a redacted from which it was extracted. Given the circumstance, its outer shell is quite damaged, but it was still able to protect the core of the device. The data stored in it are of a major interest for our country, both on a cultural and strategic standpoint. Although once more, the archaeological team are not concerned. Activating this redacted of foremost importance. Field Team 411, led by Dr. Brenner. 2 separate items shipped in this box, in the box.
As its details were published, means given up on destroying Hamas, renouncing the
Given name, scroll, and case.
There is no total victory.
Piece reference number, date found.
I say that if
Origin unknown. 23 by 23 by 30, 2.8 kilograms. 2 items.
Development comes hours after Prime
Well,
Minister Netanyahu accepted an invitation
so far,
to address a joint session of Congress.
these notes are
Political division
useless.
over Israel's handling of the conflict.
They're more like eye candy than anything else.
Happen within the next 8 weeks.
Oh, that I
soon
see in the
after
box.
Congress's August recess. Meanwhile, Israeli, Egyptian, and U.S. officials met in Cairo today to talk about reopening the Rafah border crossing. This comes as the IDF continues its operations in the southern Gaza city.
International correspondent Sarah Coates has more from Tel Aviv.
That meeting is happening in Cairo today as pressure mounts from the international community for this Rafah border crossing, a viable lifeline to reopen after it was closed at the beginning of May when the Israeli military began deepening its offensive into the southern city of Rafah. It comes as aid groups on the ground.
It doesn't look like it's this kind of key.
To be declared in the Gaza Strip. With this crossing very, very important, given that it allows these vital trucks carrying things like food and medical supplies to cross over into Gaza, and also facilitates the entry and exit of humanitarian workers. Meanwhile, another very important meeting is being held here in Israel today, and that's a cabinet meeting after the announcement by US President Biden of a new ceasefire. And
that's how you do it, huh? Okay, so
there is just so much pressure being put on the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu not to agree to this deal. And this comes from the very far right-wing element of his government, specifically the National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, and also the Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich, who are once again threatening to dissolve the coalition, to leave the government if Netanyahu agrees to this deal that they say would benefit terror and would see terror surge. But Netanyahu does have a lifeline here, that is true. The opposition leader, Yair Lapid, he is saying that he will step in and fill this void.
3, 4, 5, right?
Coalition does
so that would be,
but only for the benefit of this hostage and ceasefire deal, as protests right around Israel on Saturday night.
And then
estimated to be some 120,000 people turning out to rally in Tel Aviv, calling on Netanyahu to agree to this deal, to get it done now and get these remaining more than 120 Israeli hostages home.
4, actually.
Good news, Tel Aviv.
And then
Also happening today, voters are casting ballots for
then
next
5.
This vote could make history and see Mexico electing its first
top
female
4.
president. Both candidates leading in the polls right now going into the election are women. One is the former mayor of Mexico City and a climate scientist. The other is an opposition senator and tech entrepreneur. There are also more than 20,000 positions up for grabs on the ballot.
Bottom 1.
National correspondent John Moan Joseph.
Top 3.
Houston with more on the election. Happy Sunday, John.
And then
happy Sunday, Aaron. Look, more than 100 million Mexicans could be voting in the general election. Down
bottom 4.
But many Mexicans also live abroad, and they have the right to vote abroad if they have a valid registration card. Some 1.3 million Mexicans.
Where they go, the other
many of them live in the United States, and there are 23 consulates around the world in which they can vote. One of them is here in Houston. Thousands of people have showed up to exercise their right to vote. And amongst the candidates they want to pick from today are 2 women. They will be making history. They're very aware that there is history at stake in Mexico. People have been waiting in line here since 6 in the morning in the stifling Texas heat. Let's show you some of the pictures we got earlier from this morning. Two main candidates. The successor to the current president, Andrés Manuel López Obrador.
Top of him?
His chosen successor is the former mayor of Mexico City, Claudia Sheinbaum. People here are very supportive of AMLO and his policies. There are many people here obviously opposed to him as well. Many people chanting Morena's out, or they're supporting the Morena party. What you should know is that in terms of voter turnout here, I think the officials inside got a little more than they bargained for. There's thousands more people showed up to vote. They only have 3,000 total spots and 3,000 total.
Yeah, it's fun, but not challenging.
Abroad to vote here at the consulate. We spoke to a Mexican elections official earlier, and she describes how they had prepared for the situation.
Y estas personas registradas, tenemos más o menos 1.295 personas registradas que están dados de alta en la lista nacional de residencia del extranjero y que pues estaríamos esperando, pero adicionalmente tenemos a 1.500 espacios para personas no registradas, pero que también pueden elegir siempre y cuando en ambos casos tengan una credencial para votar vigente.
Now, no matter who wins the presidency today, it's probably going to be a woman because the two main frontrunners are Claudia Sheinbaum and Xochitl Galvez. And the excitement among some was how
like a short circuit there.
Voters waiting in line today.
So today is a big important election since we're electing for the first time, regardless of the party you're voting, we're going to have the first female president, right? So it's an unprecedented moment where it is important to raise our voice and vote. It is critical for everyone living in Mexico and abroad since it's an opportunity to get our democracy back. So regardless of the party you're voting for, it is very important to vote.
Of course, it's a big day for Mexico. Not only for that is the first election that there's going to be a women president, but defending our democracy. You know, it is really important that we keep in the ballot, and of course we have to feel them, the people in Mexico, that we are here, that we support them, and we support the democracy.
Now, again, the current frontrunner, Claudia Sheinbaum, is a member of the Morena party that tends to be more populist, more left in its economic policies. Some critics believe they are leading the country in an anti-democratic fashion. Supporters think the Morenas, though, have done more to solve the scourge of poverty more than any other party. Sheinbaum has held a comfortable lead in the short circuit. Her next closest rival again, Xochitl Galvez, a coalition of legacy parties in Mexico who normally would be dead set against one another, but they've come together because of the support that the Morenas have, and they think that coalescing is going to be their next best bet to try and win this election. Either way, we'll be on top of the story, and we'll be monitoring the outcomes tonight as Mexico decides who will be its next president. Eric?
And John, I think the line behind you just shows how important this election is. Thank you so much. Well, coming up, the president's son set to stand trial tomorrow. We'll look at the charges against Hunter Biden.
Got broken pieces, huh?
We know it's going to be a big change.
But it's the right thing to do for all of us.
It's just your mother and I want different things.
Which is why we got Sling TV.
So we can watch live and free TV all in one app?
Dad gets live sports and news, and I get my reality shows.
And when we don't want to pay, your mom and I can still get hundreds of channels for free.
Sling is really keeping this family together.
You have no idea.
You have no idea.
I have to find a way to open this box. Alright.
It's growing pet odor eliminator in the world. It's safe for people, pets, and the planet.
Way to open it, huh?
Safe from any organic odor. Yet it's safe enough to use on pet toys, their pets, even on them. So why waste money on any product that doesn't totally eliminate the thing?
Oops, the button fell and broke.
Available online and at these stores. And it's not food. It stinks. Everything you've seen me do was made possible by what you don't see. When you're not looking, I go to work. Strength is in a gift.
I would need a thin object to press the button mechanism.
Our ancestor.
A thin object.
We all have the strength to see what's possible.
I'll fix that later. Alright.
So, be your strongest.
I have, over my 30 years, seen many patients who have excessive sweating. It is very much a confidence killer. Excessive sweating is not something you have to live with. I recommend Carpe for my patients.
Carpe is by far the most effective antiperspirant I've ever used.
I love Carpe. Now I don't sweat.
Effective and affordable. It's a game changer.
Choose a solution that stops the odor and the sweat while being gentle on skin. Get customized sweat care that works with limited time free shipping at the Machinika.
Attention parents of children diagnosed with cerebral palsy, Erb's palsy, or another birth injury. If you suspect that a medical mistake may have occurred at or near the time of birth, your child may have important legal rights. Call Science and Current for a free case evaluation. Cerebral palsy is a permanent disability that may be the result of brain damage suffered during pregnancy, delivery, or shortly after birth. A failure to follow the proper standard of care may be the cause of your child's injury. A lifetime of medical care can cost millions of dollars. Protect your family and find out whether financial compensation may be available. Cases are also being investigated for children diagnosed with Erb's palsy, also known as shoulder dystocia, or brachial dystocia. If you suspected your child's disability could have been prevented, don't wait. Get a free case evaluation.
Call 1-800-596-2340. That's 1-800-596-2340.
While we won't know until July the sentence for Donald Trump following last week's conviction in his hush money trial, the former president doesn't believe, whatever the outcome is, that it could be a breaking point for the country. During an interview this morning with Fox and Friends Weekend, when asked about
I don't get in there and fix those words.
sentencing him to house arrest or jail, here's what Trump had to say.
He made a mistake 4 days before the argument.
My first challenge, huh? Okay.
Someone suggested you could appeal straight to the Supreme Court because of the special nature of this case. When it comes to people face, they are still facing, and they could. The judge could decide to say, hey, house arrest or even jail. They could face it.
Fix that.
Okay, I saw one of my lawyers the other day on television saying, oh no, you don't want to do that to the president. I said, you don't beg for anything. You just, I don't know that the public would stand it. I'm not sure the public would stand for it. With a house arrest or I think it would be tough for the public to take. At a certain point, there's a breaking point.
Trump is set to be sentenced on all 34 felony counts in New York on July 11th, just days before the Republican National Convention. Well, tomorrow, the president's son, Hunter Biden, will be inside the courtroom to stand trial on federal gun charges. Prosecutors say Hunter Biden bought a gun while he was addicted to drugs.
Hunter Biden bought a gun.
Trial could be a distraction as the president
Just to shoot everyone.
Scripps News legal affairs correspondent Alvin Burnett explains the legal and political implications.
Hunter Biden bought a gun just to shoot everyone. Okay, so
Charges for a weapon he bought in 2018. Hunter Biden wrote about his addiction and buying this weapon in his memoir. And this is a story prosecutors plan to use against him. Hunter Biden repeatedly moment of standing trial on federal gun charges after numerous attempts to put this case behind him. Prosecutors say Biden lied in a firearms warrant when he bought a gun in 2018. They say he checked the box that stated he was not addicted to any drugs when he knew that statement was false. The prosecution says the revelation was brought to light in Biden's own last legal case. Last year, Biden and prosecutors were on the brink of finalizing a plea deal, but it unexpectedly fell apart at the last minute when Judge Mary Ellen Machinika scrutinized the agreement. Biden said the indictment against him is based on politics.
I made mistakes in my life. And wasted opportunities and privileges I was afforded. For that, I'm responsible. For that, I'm accountable. And for that, I'm making amends.
But the prosecution says the strength of the evidence against him is overwhelming. Biden pled not guilty, but if he's convicted on all 3 counts, he could face up to 25 years behind bars. The president has not publicly commented on the merits of the case, but he said he supports his son.
Proud of my son.
Todd Bell, the political science professor at George Washington University, said this case may have very little impact on President Biden's re-election campaign.
The thing we know about American people and the time of American elections is that they really don't care what spouses or friends or family members do. They really just vote for the president, and family members are sort of given a pass.
Jury selection starts on Monday. 12 jurors and 4 alternates need to be chosen. The entire trial could last 2 weeks. I'm Joy Burnett. First News, Washington.
Hunter Biden also faces federal tax charges in California. Trial set to start in September. But the younger Biden has already repaid those taxes. Scripps News is bringing key election issues into focus in a way no other network can. Along with local Scripps stations in key swing states, we're going in-depth on the issues that matter most to voters. Political correspondent lives and works in Florida. In that state, One organization
That was
started by fighting COVID mandates in schools, and now they're flipping school board seats across the country. Moms for Liberty has become a political force. Laura sits down with the co-founder to learn more about their expanding agenda in this Path to the White House report.
In this West Palm office, Tina Deskovich outside one of the newest modern political groups in the country, and you likely know the name, Moms for Liberty. This mother
It's ridiculous, bro. It's so simple and stupid.
With us recently to talk about the movement. They got its start during the pandemic. As is Florida schools locked down.
We saw school board meetings being shut down. We saw parents getting locked out of school board meetings, their mics getting shut off. And so we decided to launch Moms for Liberty to help parents all across the country unify, educate, and empower themselves to defend their parental rights at all levels of government.
Along with co-founder Tiffany Justice, that message sparked a flame.
It's so simple, it's stupid.
It was a handful of frustrated parents, but now a wildfire spreading across the country.
Although, I think I will first try to reuse that anti-gravity machine that will be useful to study more easily that object.
Challenges and hundreds of flipped school board seats.
I will say we are just getting started, but we have a long way to go. We are fighting teacher unions that have been empowered with hundreds of millions of dollars year after year. It's going to take a long time to undo what has happened to education and parental rights in this country.
Parents' rights, the core message for moms. And while technically nonpartisan, your agenda is aligned with many conservative ideas. They include eliminating the U.S. Department of Education, removing school books they consider lewd or pornographic,
I can now use
from curricula,
that anti-gravity machine to observe the machines I receive.
Finally, strict prohibition of transgender females using women's restrooms or participating in girls' sports.
That is a safety issue when you get to sports.
Deskovich backs a 2021 law Florida Republicans pushed through codifying that sports ban. That's despite the Florida High School Athletic Association only reporting 11 known cases of trans athletes in the entire state since 2015.
You need the legislation because the problem is growing. I don't know about you, Forrest, but when I was in school, half of my middle school class of girls did not identify as a boy. If you're following what's going on right now with the social contagion, the lines are getting blurred.
It's rhetoric like that that prompted the Southern Poverty Law Center to step in and label Moms for Liberty an extremist group last year, calling it a far-right organization that engages in anti-student inclusion activities. Criticism Deskovich flatly rejects.
I don't think you can point to anywhere that Moms for Liberty is trying to limit speech of anybody of the LGBTQ community. Some of our members are part of the LGBTQ community.
Some big metal emblems leading the object.
Part of the LGBTQ community. What we are trying to do is to direct our children in education.
But voters may be becoming disillusioned by Moms for Liberty and their conservative agenda. Over the last 2 years, and their political power across the country. A recent report by Brookings Institution found declining support for Moms for candidates. Overall, about 47% of them won in 2022, but it was down to 33% in 2023. And in the suburbs, it gets worse, where Moms back most of its candidates. Only about a third won in 2023. It was about 54% in 2022.
I've defeated them in their job once before, and I'm willing to do it again.
That's Jennifer Jenkins, who actually holds the very same Brevard school board seat that used to belong to Deskovich. She thinks Moms for Liberty has become too polarizing and divisive, which is why she launched Educated We Stand this month.
Stop extreme policies and defeat the candidates who support them.
It's about acting as a counterbalance to Moms.
Okay, so I guess that when you went into that hole there, you went in this area.
Far-right extremists and evidence-based learning.
I don't think I'll need this anymore, although I should fix that button.
The politicalization of our public education system. When the topic
and the broken wires that are in there too.
Rights of others, we need to start having a conversation. When we're limiting free thought and critical thinking inside of our classrooms, we need to be concerned about that, because ultimately there's going to be one ideology, one agenda that's pushed through and through consistently to our students.
Whether this new effort will achieve the same success as Jenkins' rivals remains to be seen. It's just getting started with fundraising and recruiting. Deskovich, meanwhile, undeterred, expecting.
So I gotta unscroll the scroll.
2024, despite what could be a changing climate in education.
And there's no indication of how to unscroll the scroll.
Year-round across the
country. We are
I
working
don't have any tools.
plan. We are dedicated and we are moving forward.
First use, unfortunately.
Well, in Ohio, police are investigating an overnight shooting that killed one person and hurt more than 20 others. Police say it happened just after midnight on a street in Akron. A 27-year-old man was killed. Medics took the other victims to the hospital.
Don't have any tools.
The city is giving an update on the case at 6:30 Eastern this evening. Well, this afternoon, police are continuing an investigation of a shooting in southern Arizona that killed 2 people, including a police officer. It happened early yesterday morning at a home about 35 miles outside of Phoenix. Officers were responding to a disturbance call there. Investigators say a large crowd had gathered when it started shooting. Officer Joshua Reese and another person died. 4 other people got hurt, including
So
another
big metal
Reese was a
emblem
rookie police officer
sealing
who joined
the
the
object.
police department less than a year ago.
And I can't like take it off.
A dramatic rescue off the coast of Florida where 8 people were found clinging to a cooler.
Can I take it off? Can I take the big metal emblem
Bruce finds them. That's next.
that's sealing the object off?
Paying attention to
What happened in this town happened to your town too.
Here are the steps of the U.S. Capitol after it.
The decisions made in this town.
Not all the way. We take you to the people. Political points of impact.
We want to add some context around this.
The race. Wheatlands at 6-5 Central. First News.
I'm Jonathan Lawson. If you're 50 to 85, I have an important message about security. Write down the number on your screen so you can call when I finish. The lock I want to talk to you about isn't the one on your door. This is the lock for your life insurance, a rate lock. It guarantees that once you're insured, your rate can never go up at any time for any reason. But be careful. Many policies you see do not have one. But you can get a lifetime rate lock from Colonial Penn. All this number learn more. This plan was designed with a rate lock for people on fixed income who want life insurance that fits their budget and is simple to get.
How do you save this thing?
$9.95 a month. Less than 35 cents a day. Act now. Your rate will be locked in for life. It will never increase. Guaranteed. This is lifelong coverage that can never be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Guaranteed. And your acceptance is guaranteed.
You really want to leave games. Progress will be saved.
Okay. Because of your health. Call for your information kit.
Let me see if this works. Where would I be back?
You'll also get a free beneficiary planner. All for free, with no obligation. Don't miss out. All for information, then decide. Read about the 30-day 100% money-back guarantee.
Let's see where these.
Don't wait. Call this number now.
Call now and you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. Use this valuable guide to record important information and your final wishes. And it's yours free just for calling. So don't wait. Call 1-800-440-9900 for your free information. That's 1-800-440-9900. There's no risk or obligation. That number again is 1-800-440-9900. That's 1-800-440-9900. So call now.
All right.
How long have you been tracking her car's value with Vermont?
Just like 7 months.
She's 7 months.
Maybe home.
Oh, Silverman's are going for more right now. Should we? Oh, my lips is paying off. You think we should? Appreciation's really eating up, you think? Get
2.5%.
Go to Carvana to track your car's value today.
Give me your answer.
What was that? A dramatic
Crazy
and it was all caught on camera.
with the love for you.
This is the moment the U.S. Coast Guard rescued a child and 7 adults after their 28-foot boat capsized near Boca Grande yesterday.
Ah, that's interesting here.
A distress call from the passengers.
Ah.
The boat was sinking. They were able to quickly find the vessel because the boaters had turned their boat's location device on, and then they used emergency strobe lights when the Coast Guard arrived. 8 people all had their life vests on, and they were found clinging to a over. Thankfully, dramatic rescue, but everybody was okay. Definitely thankful there, but what a story, quick thinking by them. I'm Aaron Rodgers in Atlanta. The news continues here at 6.
Are you okay? Are you overdosing?
Is screwed up. Oregon lawmakers walked back the groundbreaking law and recriminalized drugs. Cannot say it fails in
There you go. Really, this is so simple as perfect.
Centers, it doesn't change. I don't know.
This is our thought. This is indeed a scroll. So, with nothing written on it.
I tried it myself.
Yes, there is. It's just invisible.
I said, wow, Super Beats is a game changer.
You gotta make it uninvisible.
The blood pressure support that I need.
Circulation, heart health, and feel like you can get things done.
I really am feeling a difference.
I just love it.
Over 1 million people
It's
have
blocked.
Super
Something
Beats blood
must be
pressure
preventing it
support
from
supplements to the
opening.
test. And today, we have over 80,000 five-star ratings and reviews. We're trusted by over 120 pro and college
I'm
sports
going to
teams.
need a screwdriver here, and what better tool than my old magnetic screwdriver?
It helps dilate blood vessels.
Ah,
It helps increase
cool.
my circulation. It's having a beneficial effect.
Now you need some tiny tweezers.
It makes me healthier.
My grandkids say,
Dragon screwdriver to unscrew.
and I said Super Beats.
Get a 3 month supply, plus free shipping and a 90-day money-back guarantee on all bundles. Exclusively when you call or visit superbeats.com.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations?
Accurate.
Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aids for only $200.
This game is boring, and it looks like it can probably finish it within 2 hours. So
CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing
I'm gonna go do something else.
and they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny
Let's see,
in-ear
we're doing what we
design
do
that's
better.
nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aids for only $297.
I presume
or
here.
opt into a
Okay.
payment plan of 4 easy
All right.
interest-free payments. Plus, if you call now, we'll add a portable charging card. And
Okay.
shipping is absolutely free. The Nano hearing
Yeah.
aids come with outstanding
It's a nice looking game.
money back guarantee. Supplies are limited, so you must have.
I mean, it's not extremely difficult. You just basically gotta try different things until you get something right.
Weekend, there could be hope
but,
on the horizon for a ceasefire.
But it's kind of fun. You know, it's easy, so it's not gonna aggravate me.
What it could cost.
So I'll tell you what. Next time when I have like about 2 hours to spare, I'll come back and I'll probably finish it then. Let me see, 9 chapters. I'm in chapter 2 or chapter 3, I think it was.
Gun charges. No details on the against the president.
Yeah, it might take me more than 2 hours, but probably 2 days. 2 more days, and I should be finished. Yeah, part 2 and part 3 should be finished by part 3. So until then, I shall go and do something else.
And the release of all
What am I doing? Oh, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
with Britain Sunday Times.
Oh, let me show you my latest t-shirt here.
That there are details that
Donald Trump.
but also stressed, quote,
It says, may he live
live
long
all of them.
and rot in prison.
Announced a 3-phase plan.
May he live long and rot in prison. Donald Trump.
Come with serious
Yeah.
implications for Israel. Israel's national
Yeah, that's what I gotta do. I gotta make a couple more t-shirts. That's what I'm gonna be doing. And also got a little grocery shopping. Yeah. So until then, goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, darling. This has been a film-based presentation, darling.